of who says what while we're talking because it's your document, so you're not.
All right, and we're live.
You're a little quiet. My volume good? Okay, cool. Oh God. Can't hear you. It's a little creepy to have a camera pointed at me and I'm not looking at it. I'm gonna see if I can turn off my.
You don't have to have people know. As long as you're following. Now the story is
I can't hear anything, but that might be my fault. Can you guys hear me? I can't hear anything actually. Oh,
Okay, that was.
now it's fine. Oh, and the call just ended? What's going on?
It did?
I'm confused.
It's still recording. This is still.
Oh, okay, I hear you, Shotcut.
You guys hear me now?
Yes, you're good.
It should be
Cool.
like right there.
Hope I don't pick up other people too much though.
Yeah. Just look reasonable.
I can hear.
Look it over.
I will. Oh, I need to. It's my fault.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't really think we're gonna get much better than this.
Agreed. I mean, how bad is it for mine? Because mine's the area mic right now.
2 times 1 plus 1.
Whatever.
Plus 1.
Let's just start.
Do it.
Okay.
Shotcut.
So,
Oh, you know what? I just realized. I'm sorry. Got one more possibility because you guys are both using this thing. Why don't I try it?
5, 6,
Same thing.
and now it should be good, hopefully.
Yeah. That was a little loud.
Is it just like you guys just say your comments about it?
Yeah, so we're just gonna say our comments and you're gonna record them. And then we're gonna switch. Oh, wait, there it is. Joe? Oh, yes. Never mind.
Yeah, I did not hear it. Your mic.
Joe, I have an extra earbuds. I can try to give you mine.
It's actually the computer.
Oh,
So now, can you hear me now?
it's just, yeah, it's a little delayed, but it's fine.
Okay. Oh yeah, I do see it now. You're right. We're good.
Great.
Okay. Sorry for that long process, guys.
Alrighty.
Let me just get the document up for that one taking minutes for mine. Okay, I got my notes. I got a thing up. I'm willing to share. So who's ever taking notes will share their screen, I think. And that person is also the one who's being critiqued.
I can't share my screen on my tablet.
Then I'll share it for you, and you can type for me. You can come over and type.
Fantastic.
All right. So for now, I'll share mine.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
Cool. I think it'd probably be good if we made the indentations like a bullet points below it.
just like in the actual document.
Sorry.
In the actual document. Just
In
like,
that document, yes. Yep. I mean, you're the one recording what we say, so. Cool. I mean, so. So one thing that I think that we should cover is in the Agile, the question A, the use of requirements I think are kind of confusing. Both of them are actually requirements. It's just so be specific saying P and D requirements, and then Agile user stories. And if you want to shorten it, just make it be P and D requirements and user stories. Because I see sometimes you call like just requirements, and as I read that, the user stories are still requirements, just not. They're just like a specific type of requirement. That's kind of the confusion there.
Similarly, one thing that I've noted throughout is maybe a lack of structure on some parts. So specifically in part A, you start off with one thing that user stories and requirements have in common is participation from all stakeholders. Requirements to have a much more in-depth process. It just sounds like you might have moved that sentence around or something without changing what it actually said. So like just maybe working on the flow of the whole thing. That might have even been a typo there. That kind of grammatical and structural change. I think it just comes from more revision, maybe, reading it over once or twice.
I had a question actually. So one sentence, two sentence, three sentences. The fourth sentence, you say also related. I wasn't sure if you meant referencing back to the happy cases, sad cases,
yeah.
in scenario. Oh, you did, okay. Because I thought maybe you meant the use cases. Because the use cases are related to both.
Oh, okay.
One thing that I recommend is maybe as a structural thing, you can say, this is how Plan Document does it, this is how Agile does it. Just as a one does this, one does the other. And then, maybe even split those into two separate paragraphs altogether, just to make it very clear.
Yeah.
Because you sort of talk more about their differences than their similarities. And I think that might show that better.
And then maybe as a third paragraph, talk about the similarities.
Yeah, and I understand that those would be very short paragraphs, but just
Makes it
they don't even
logical.
they don't even have to be separate actual paragraphs per se, just separate sections of your paragraph maybe.
Agreed. I think as you notice from some of the professor's comments of specifically saying the Connectra format,
Yeah.
I was just thinking that, in your sentence about while user stories can be 3 lines, just add in there using Connectra format and a sketch in the back, and then go from there. Just to throw that little bit of information in there, that's a good spot for it. Um, I also noticed that she talked about testability, which is the synonym for measurable requirements. So I suggest you say how both Agile and P&D need measurable requirements, but Agile requires SMART, and then explain what that acronym. In like a parentheses, say what the acronym is.
Mhm.
I think I had like a couple more things, but I like that back and forth. Do you have another thing, Jordan?
Sure. I did notice a typo in your part C. Just thought I'd bring that up. I don't know if the professor did. I didn't actually have a chance to read through her comments. You say the idea behind that's third sentence. The idea behind TDD, say the hinge, the G by accident. Thought I'd point that out.
Yep.
It's a small thing. Otherwise, that one answer is actually pretty good. I think that you could do a pretty good job just defining it and explaining it pretty quickly and concisely. So that's good.
The only thing I'd add for part C myself was it's in comments of what the professor added about the white box. So like part of TDD is using unit tests with a white box methodology to inspect methods internally, define what white box is. And because essentially when we do our spec, it's pretty much line by line. So that's how it's internal to the method. And that's a definition of a white box test.
I guess you might, along with that, you might as well mention some of the stuff that we use, mocks, stubs, factories,
Yeah.
fixtures, as like a part of what we do in our TDD. So like I know that's very specific to Ruby, but that is probably something the professor would want to see.
Mocks and stubs aren't actually like a Ruby thing, really. It's a general
That's true.
thing.
That's true.
Um,
So, no, just saying, I would make mention of that too.
back on the number A. Sorry, part A. Where was this? I don't know if it's necessary to define use cases. It seems like you're just kind of just taking a definition and throwing it in there. But it's good to mention it because it is a commonality between the two of them. So I would just, say that they're both use that technique and leave it at that.
I think along with that, you just go into a good level of detail there. Just if you restructure the way that if you just restructure that paragraph, it might make it more clear. And I think that would help with a lot of issues. Then you might also realize for yourself, oh, this is something that's maybe not factually correct, but could be made more correct.
I also highly suggest for when you need to put in P and D, you just at the beginning, say that as you're discussing that there's two things you're discussing, being agile user stories and plan document requirements. Immediately introduce that acronym and this, in parentheses say plan and document, but then all you have to do is P and D with a symbol and the ampersand, for instance. When it comes to the very formal writing part in the middle of your paragraph about because P&D requirements, I think it's important you explain that they're more difficult because they're very, as you said, they're very formal and must be written to a software requirement specification. One thing to add into that is give an example of what an SRS is, like the IEEE 830-1998, and it also then include with the use of shall. Maybe you don't want to do it there. I mean, structure as the paragraph as you want, but you definitely want to add in the shells are used to declare a requirement.
I second that. For part B, I noticed that it's kind of like a this, then this, then this, then this kind of format there. I don't know if you want to maybe make it like a bullet pointed list for part of it, and then sort of have writing explaining about it above and below.
The professor said to just kind of split that up into separate paragraphs.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Just-
Yeah, it just like read a little weirdly after, like in the context because it's different from the others, but it is different. So it makes sense.
Like I was just like thinking about splitting it as like that first part would just be coming up with the user stories, second part like putting it into Pivotal and measuring everything, and then the third part would be doing the actual cucumber tests.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. I think that was pretty much everything I got. The only additional thing I have to give you is some additional resources that I use to help myself review this, and I'll just give that to you offline.
Yeah, I was going to recommend more sources than just the textbook because while it is fine, you probably would like to see additional sources for that.
Yeah, Jordan, if you have any that aren't like from the class, that'd be good because all of mine are, Blackboard and the edX. But
I don't, but I think as long as you just vary the sources, even if they're all technically the same
There's
source.
a lot of articles online just about PDD, BDD versus TDD. So
Oh, great. Go. I think I'm good on this one.
just about those articles, be careful and make sure they're reputable sources, like maybe educational websites, and not like not like Wikipedia where it's anyone can answer it. Make it be like more reputable .edus, for instance. Okay, well, I'm
I'm good.
now let's review Joseph's
so. What was that?
question.
Yours is next.
Oh, my next. Thank you. Okay. So let me bring mine up. 2. And let me also share my screen. That probably help. Come on. There we go. And share. And present to everyone. Go. There we go. And find my question. Okay. So,
Probably.
All right.
Fine. Can't auto that. So someone's gonna have to pull
Sorry.
it,
So
merge it with math here. And then push it
yeah,
down.
like I said about those assumptions, just be more specific about
What I want to do right now,
like what example.
Jeff, I'm having a hard time hearing you, actually. Let me
check out
I'm gonna take out one of my earbuds.
that.
And
Check out that.
So just be like, why do we need those requirements?
actually, how do you spell your name, Jeffco?
It's SHAFKAT. SHAF and then KAT.
KAT. Thank you.
No problem.
And then,
So, give some more background information on those assumptions. Make it more clear
And
why
the name of your
them,
branch. No, give
Therefore-
first space the name of your
the
branch.
assumptions, or what was it?
the assumptions.
Adding RSpec.
Other than that, the table seems right, and your per chart also seems right.
And then fix all the comments.
So, yeah, that's all I
Get
really have to
RM.
that.
Okay.
Any of the files like PP, test. So yeah, I pretty much agree with Shafkat. I don't really see any actual calculational errors in your code, obviously. Well done. Yeah, I don't think that you could make it much more clear except to add a little more description of, what the various categories are here. Yeah.
So I'm sorry, that's the what I'm filling in.
Yeah.
And so that's like,
The one thing that's a little vague is starting node and ending node. I know what you mean, but if you just want to be super explicit about everything, that might be helpful. I'll take a look in a minute. Okay. Joe's just going to finish writing it down.
it's got a couple of things on. Okay.
Can you still hear me, guys? I can't really tell.
Total, actually, very clearly.
Fantastic.
So yours is after mine, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a little small on the document. No. Always figure out a way to fix that.
It's readable though. And I can print out so read it.
Okay, cool. Just the format for this is what, like your name?
Yeah.
No.
Two else.
Okay.
Everyone makes a mistake.
And then the bullets underneath. Oops.
Oops, you need to add a bullet. Bless you.
Excuse me. And Shopgot. And your last name is Haque?
Yeah.
Swell. Oakley dokley. Let's go.
Luckily, okay, Ned. So one thing that I think that is needed is the final decision. I know it's someone reading this and understanding it would know that, but it should be explicit at the end, I think.
Okay.
The order of the tables, I think, need to be rearranged because the logical path of, the flow of logic was the cost calculation and then the trade study.
Right.
And then descriptions of each table, just basic things, instead of just having them there.
Definitely add like some kind of little summary after each table about what you're calculating.
Well, that's like how we.
What should we expect out of it?
Okay.
Okay.
Like what Chef has said, like maybe give the equations for how you calculated a score. I think is that what you said?
Yeah, that can definitely be too.
And
Equations. Okay.
and I think the last thing I got is the reference should follow the IEEE standard with the one. I know that the only place I think you could actually place that one would be at the equations, because the rest is pretty much common knowledge of what you made yourself.
So after the equations that I'd be adding.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for your reference, I think it'd be more specific, such as like it was from week 11 to Monday background. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
And I think we're good, right?
I think so as well.
Yeah, the math was perfect.
Oh, thank you.
Any